Very much. I just want to ask you, I'm kind of interested in the question that Deputy raised here about language and communication. When the new scheme came in and you made initial visits to vessels to inform the owners and the employers of the new scheme, did you attempt in any way to talk to the workers or to inform them of their rights or to communicate that with them? I suppose it's the same question in a roundabout way. Had you thought about this scheme also covers workers as well as employers? Could we inform the workers of what they're entitled to? I mean, getting an Arabic translator in this country, for example, is not rocket science. You'd pick one up anywhere. I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but there are plenty of good, strong linguistic people who can speak both Arabic and English very, very well. And it's about reaching out to inform them of their rights. And I'd just like to expand on that a bit, what you may have done, even if you couldn't speak to them directly, to give them some information about their rights. And have you ever, as an organisation, particularly the WRC, made contact with any of the fishers who suffer exploitation? Have you ever had contact with them, sat down in front of them, even through an interpreter, met them, seen them as real people and discussed their issues directly with them? Also, what I can't get over, and it was kind of struck me in the last session as well, the disparity between the evidence and the reports of the IFT, or the ITF, versus the industry and versus yourselves. They seem to have been able to illustrate to us, dozens of incidents of exploitation, but nobody else, including the industry or yourselves, seem to be able to match that. And what can you explain that disparity? Is somebody making up porkies or dreaming this up, or what is the problem? And perhaps one of the questions that might answer that: do you have sufficient inspectors to carry out the work in general in the WRC? Famously, somebody once said that the Labour Relations Commission had less inspectors than there were dog inspectors in the country, and if that's changed, has it changed sufficiently to allow you to do your job, properly on behalf of workers' rights as well as employers' obligations? So how many inspectors do you actually have, and is that sufficient to cover what's required here? And I just would like to know, finally, if you have ever found, and how many you have found, of actual employment breaches, leaving aside the documentation, because I do understand that logbooks and documentation are a confusing part of the fishing industry and often don't match up to what you would find in an office or a factory floor or whatever. That shouldn't be the case, but it is the case. But have you got other evidence of breaches of employment law in the industry?
Well, I might